It is important to understand what happens when you run a program. This is what we call the control flow. When you try to execute a program, where does the control of the execution starts and how does it proceed? It's important to understand that to execute a program, you have to start from a main. So if we were to run the program on Snake Eyes, then the execution would start from the first line of the main, and it will proceed until either it ends or it finds a call to another method or a constructor that happens to be in this file or in another file. So when in the program Snake Eyes we encounter the line die gets new die 1 or die 2 as we have it there. So when we encounter the first one, new die, the control of the flow, that is the next thing that will be executed, will be the beginning of the code inside the die method, the constructor in this case. And it will continue from there until it finishes, in which case it will come back right after the line that has finished executing the new die and will continue to execute into the main program. So temporarily, the flow of execution will go from main to the class die, to the particular method called die, and when this finishes, it will go back into the main. If later on it finds the call die.roll, which indicates that it needs to execute method roll inside the class die, because that's the type of die, it will temporarily stop the execution in main and it will start in the beginning of the method roll. When this finishes, eventually it will come back after all and it will continue from there until it completes the execution of main. What if from within a method that was called from the main, another method is called? So main starts executing here and finds that it needs to call method do this inside object. Let's say object is this class on the right side. As before, it will stop executing main and it will start executing the method do this inside this other object. And then maybe it finds another method called help me, which is a method within the second object. Again, it will stop there and will start executing the help me until it finishes. Then it will go back to where it came from, where it was called from, and will continue from there. When it finishes, it will go back to whoever called do this, which is main, and it will continue from there until it completes. If you wonder how does the computer keep track of this sequence of operations, that is figuring out where it came from and where it should go to execute whenever it finds a call, wait until we talk in this class later on about stacks and you will see more details of how this happens. Understanding the control flow is essential to debugging because it will help you understand where exactly the computer keeps track of the variables that you have declared and how does it know which method called which other method and return to the right place.